Hey guys, welcome back to the Drumheads. My name is Daniel, and I am reviewing, wait for the sound, okay, alright, it wasn't as bad as I thought. This is a wave drum, and this is from Meinl Sonic Energy. This is part of their, new collection. This is more for meditative and holistic, therapies and stuff like that. So this is a wave drum. Now, why it's called a wave drum, you're like, wow, it just looks like a regular frame drum, and it is, but if you turn it around, you can see there's these beads in there. So there's these black and silver beads, and they're different sizes. And they're also these little rectangular beads. So what this is supposed to mimic, and it does a pretty good job, in my opinion, is mimicking the waves on the beach. So if you, and it take, when I got it out of the box, I wanted to do this. I just wanted to dump it all to one side. And I learned that that's not saying that's not the correct way to play it, but there's a certain, caress and way you move your hands along the drum that you can actually get more of a soothing tone, which is this is what Sonic Meinl Energy is about. It's about, holistic and, like I said, meditative tones that you would not necessarily get from a drum set. Even though, yes, a drum set can be meditative to someone like me who likes to play drums, and that's their way of releasing, I guess, negative energy or whatever you want to call it. But, this is also good, so if you worked in a, let's say like you're working in a massage place and you were doing maybe the salt caves and things like that. I'm just thinking here locally where I live, it's a very, how do I put it friendly? It's a very hippie-ish type town, so there's a lot of people that are more into the, Eastern philosophies and, doing things that are a little bit different. So, I mean, if you were in a class and you were trying to teach, maybe even a yoga class, you could use this in the corner and use it to meditate. And I found, even for me personally, just using this drum is very relaxing, because it you think about it, but you're not, if that makes sense. So I'm going to show you the way I found to make the most of this drum, which is you go in like a circular pattern, but you're kind of moving back and forth. But you move very slowly. This drum is not about being aggressive or even really hitting it. It's all about just the motion of making the sound consistent. And so let's go ahead and give that a try. So I usually start kind of going in a clockwise motion. So. So that's pretty much just one turn. So, I mean, you could keep going and going with it. So, but like I said, it's about control. It's not about, it's not about that. And, if you're trying to make a relaxing sound, this is that's like a storm surge coming in, not a pleasant sound. Not that it sounds bad, but it'd be jarring in a, if you're in a meditative state. So you got to be careful. This is a very thin head right here. So I would compare it to maybe a very heavy gauge snare side drum head. So the resonant side is a little bit thicker, but you wouldn't want to put any kind of pressure, because that would pop and then all your beads would go flying out. So on the front, it's just your regular calf tone head. So I mean, I've tried playing. So you could use use this as a typical frame drum, so this would be more of the larger, so you're getting more of your bass tones with it. But and I reviewed the 17-inch frame drum, and so pressing my body against this one does not choke the sound. Maybe the loudness, but not necessarily the sound has changed in its pitch. So I'm curious, and I haven't tried this yet, is putting it between my legs like that and using my legs to hold it. So, and it's got a nice buzz sound to it, so you do get that snare sound. And so I'm curious, we're going to lay this on my... So you get a kind of a very, you know, more distorted sound. So if you were going for that, you could also lay it on your leg. So let's try flipping it and having the beads on that side. And maybe shaking them out a bit. It's a very cool trashy sound. So like there's multiple applications to it. And you know, I'm just guessing, but I'm gonna guess that maybe, you know, Sonic Energy, you know, the Meinl Sonic Energy had that in mind, so you could have multiple ways to play this drum, you know. And again, this would be a fun drum to have in your house. So you could have, you know, you could have the frame drum, and then you could do the, you know, the wave sounds, and then you can also experiment in between. And what I like about the, you know, the Sonic Meinl Energy is they're doing something different. You know, this is not a drum that you would typically see in a drum store, maybe in some type of specialty, you know, very earthy type store, maybe a hippie store, you know, for a lesser word. So you might find it in there. But again, if you're in a family and you're just looking for a drum to have around so the kids can play, or have, you know, for your own enjoyment as well. And also if you are into, you know, some of the holistic type of medicine, so like massage therapy, yoga studios, you're doing sound therapy, you know, this would be a great drum to have in your collection to add that different, you know, color to your, you know, your all your different types of drums that you could use. You know, you could use, you know, hand pans and stuff like that. So it'd be really fun to see this used, you know, with almost in a you know, a group assembly of, you know, percussionists, and everyone having a different type of drum and really creating some type of, or, you know, kind of an orchestra, you know, piece out of it. So I'd be very interested to see something like that. But this is a calf tone head, so I can already feel the hairs on the head there. So, you know, if it bothers you, it doesn't bother me, but some people, you know, you may want to take a razor and just kind of trim those off, so you're not, you know, typically that's if you're playing aggressively. I would be shocked if someone's using this drum, you know, really banging into it. But so if you're, you know, if it was like a djembe or a set of bongos or congas, that would make sense, because those can, you know, start to chap or irritate your hands. But this is not enough. You're not hitting it enough to really get that burn almost. So, but this is, again, very cool. I enjoyed it. My kids love playing it. So, a great family drum. Go check out Sonic Meinl Energy and all their other products, and we're going to be hopefully showcasing some more here soon. But again, thank you to Angel, who set this all up. I met her at the actual percussion festival, and you know, we talked about doing some demos, and so she sent some out. So I'm very grateful to her for doing that, and thank you to Sonic Meinl Energy for, you know, doing something different, thinking outside the box. I always love things that are outside the box. So again, thank you, and enjoy the waves. Very cool.